Sandy. How are you?
I'm great. It's great to talk with you this morning, Kristen.
I have Sandy Shtab here with Healthesystems joining me. She's a big advocate for the Comp Laude Awards Gala. But before we talk about that, Sandy, tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do for the industry.
Absolutely. So I've been part of the work comp industry for a lot of years. I went into claims right out of college, and being an adjuster was probably one of the most difficult jobs I've ever had. Eventually, I left claims after a few years and I moved into compliance and public policy work. And that's when I joined Healthesystems about 10 years ago. And Healthesystems is a company that helps carriers and third-party administrators start and keep injured workers on the path to recovery. We facilitate the pharmacy and ancillary medical transactions, and that helps the injured worker get the right treatment at the right time. We've got a clinical team here that helps the patient to get appropriate medications, and they do that by preventing medications that get dispensed that might be duplicative therapies or drug-drug interactions. Opioids are a huge issue in the workers' compensation world. And we do all of that in real time so that the patient isn't waiting at the pharmacy counter. We help them get medical equipment when they need it, and even facilitating the scheduling of physical therapy services. So the injured worker is really at the core of who we serve, and we're always looking for ways to innovate and improve their experience as they recover. And supporting Comp Laude really aligns closely with what we do here. So we're excited to participate again this year.
Awesome. Well, that leads me to my next question. Why and when did you join the Comp Laude event?
I met Dave DiPaolo at an industry conference in April of 2016. We happened to be sitting right next to each other at a roundtable discussion on the future of workers' compensation. And so we got to spend a few hours together in a group setting, and I really enjoyed chatting with him. And at the end, we swapped our contact information. And a couple days later, I got a letter and a handwritten note from him inviting me to come to Comp Laude in Burbank, which was in November that year. I thought it was pretty cool. Not too many people actually write by hand notes anymore. And soon after that, unfortunately, he passed away, so I didn't really get to spend any more time with him, but I did attend the event in November, and it was really impressive. And you could see the influence that he had on the industry and on so many people. And so that was my first conference. And after that, I was invited to join the advisory board. And I've remained involved in a couple of different roles over the last few years since then.
If you could share one thing about Comp Laude with somebody that has not been, what would you want to share?
I think Comp Laude is really a celebration of all the people who contribute to making this a great system. You know, we're here to serve injured workers, help them recover, get the services that they need so they can return to productive life. And this event really has something for everyone. There's a professional education component. There are amazing stories that I hear told year after year in the People's Choice part of the program. People make themselves very vulnerable and they tell stories about themselves, and it's very relatable. Sometimes there isn't a dry eye in the audience. You know, I really like the scholarship portion of the program. We're excited to sponsor that again this year. And of course, the social events in the evening are pretty spectacular. Last year there was a luau and people were wearing beautiful orchid leis, and this year I'm really looking forward to the location. Huntington Beach cannot be beat. It's a beautiful place to have an event, and hopefully I'll be able to get across the street and check out the surfers and maybe a sunset or so.
Nice. Yeah, that's a common theme that I've been hearing is the stories that are told at Comp Laude, and that the injured workers are involved. And I don't know if you've heard, I'm pretty sure you have, but the injured worker panel is back, and that's what we're kicking Comp Laude Comp Laude off with.
Terrific.
And the scholarships help get them there, the injured worker scholarships. We don't just bring in the finalists or winners from the event, but we try to bring alumni back. And we're really trying to grow that network for injured workers to have maybe a place where they can meet and maybe have some discussions that they would like to share with everybody in the industry. So what is your favorite part of Comp Laude?
Can I have more than one favorite?
Of course. Actually, that's been a common answer, so of course.
I really like the People's Choice program. I think that's my favorite overall. The first year that I came, I got to hear Dwight Johnson tell his story, and I got to speak to him a little bit, during the event. He was so inspiring, and I think that it's those personal stories that remind us why we're here, because there's so many people that are worthy of recognition. There are claims people, there's public policy people like me, who work to inform the industry about trends and shape regulations. And there are amazing employers, and of course the medical providers, even attorneys that are working on behalf of injured workers, are all contributing to making it a great industry. And I have to say also, I'm really honored to be a finalist this year in one of the categories. And even if I don't win, it's just cool to be nominated amongst so many other terrific contributors to the system. So that's what I like about it.
Awesome. Well, you pulled my special question out. I was going to ask you, how does it feel to be nominated? So tell me a little bit more about when you got that email saying you've been nominated.
I really wasn't expecting it at all. I just think it's cool that Comp Laude looks for and encourages nominations of people who are sort of working behind the scenes. A lot of what I do is behind the scenes. It's not visible to a lot of people, but it's really important work. And so it's just cool to be recognized. And like I said, I am one of many, many people that are not just in this category, but in the program overall that are being nominated or that were finalists. And it's kind of nice to just take stock of, what you've done and what other people are doing. And it helps us all be better, really.
Well, thank you so much for joining me today. It was a lot of fun, and it's really getting close. We're at 62 days now, so everybody needs to register for Comp Laude. So for more information, go to www.complaude.com for the hotel information, the agendas, looking at the advisory board, all the hard workers that help us do what we do. And the event is September 23rd through the 25th in Huntington Beach at the Paseo Hotel and Spa. Thanks, Sandy.
Well, I'll see you there. Bye, Kristen.